Jai Hind everyone and welcome back to my class. Next topic what we are going to discuss in today's class will be the little bit of part which I had left in the last class, which is dictionary, and post that we are going to learn what are operators in Python. So to start, we will just discuss what we are going to cover up today. We are going to cover up dictionaries, which was a part of sequences, and then we are going to, this was a part of sequence which we have learned in our previous chapter, which was to do with the data type. Okay, now after the dictionary we are going to take up operators in Python. Okay, operators in Python. In Python we have varieties of operator, so we are going to categorize them accordingly. This will be arithmetic operator. We'll have assignment operator. We will have relational operator. And we will have logical operators. Okay. Let's see how much we will be able to cover in these coming 15 minutes of this class, 15 to 18 minutes, let's say. So, firstly, we are going to take up dictionary. As I mentioned in the previous class, that in the sequence we are going to have strings, we are going to have, sorry, this is mapping. I'm sorry. This is going to be mapping. I confused it with tuple and other things. Mapping. Okay. In sequence we have string, we have list, as well as we have tuple. Okay, or tuple we call. Now in the mapping we have dictionaries. Okay. In dictionary what we are going to do is, how is it mapping and how is the mapping done and what is the use of having a dictionary? First and foremost, whenever we are talking about tuple or tuple or list, let's say, we are actually talking about homogeneous kind of data. Okay. Now, when you are trying to evaluate it, you have to go according to the sequence or by index. We will come to that little later in detail. But right now, just remember, dictionary can be combination of any kind of data. It can be a collection of any kind of data. So we'll start with dictionary now. And when we are saying mapping, it's easy to reconsider mapping when we are saying you are knowing that this dot has to go there. Okay, so something like that. Now how is dictionary done? Let me give a name called D. Now D is my identifier or a variable name which is representing the dictionary. D equals to, I always have to open a flower braces, close a flower braces. In between these flower braces, I am going to give a key followed by a colon. Then I am going to give you value, comma. This may be key 1, this will be value 1, let's say, key 2, colon value 2, comma, etc., how many ever you want, and then you have to close the flower braces. So now if I take a proper example of this, how am I going to make it? I am going to take it as, let's suppose I know that let's suppose I say Monday. I'm just giving just randomly. Okay, so if I'm saying Monday, and whenever I say Monday, I want the value as moon. I am representing moon. So I am saying whenever I want to access moon value, I will say Monday. Okay, and if I say Sunday, S-U-N, Sunday, I should have a comma after this, as I told you. This is key, this is its value. This is another key, and this will be its value, comma. let's say Tuesday, I'm giving quotes, single quotes, and I say Mars, comma, if I say Saturday, and I give colon, and let's say Saturn. And now I don't have any more values, and I'm completing with the flower braces. Now what is happening here is every key here has a value associated with it. If I want sun as a value, then I'm going to access the key called Sunday. Okay, now let me tell you one more thing. Most of the times the key is taken as a string, whereas the value can be anything. Okay, I'll give you one more example where there will be a variety of things coming up. So right now just take up this example. We are having one key and its value. Now if I want to access the value called moon, okay, now how do I access? I will say D, and I will open a square bracket here, and I will say Monday. When I say this, now what happens? It knows that I am talking about moon. Fine. Now I'll take up one more example for you, wherein I will be having varieties. Now you have seen all these are strings, the values are strings. Now I will have something else. Suppose I go to buy a shirt, okay, and that shirt will have a brand name, and it will have a code. Let's suppose what is the code, and it will also show how much percent cotton and how much percent of polyester is there in the shirt, and finally the price. So I have 5 values here. I'll just give brand as the first key value, and let's say I'm not fond of any brand as such, so I'm just giving a value XYZ, comma, then I give, after brand I said it will have a code, so shirt code, S code I will say, and I will say the code was, let's say, shirt, so S1076, which I have selected. Now let's say I need to give how much percent cotton was there in the shirt and how much percent of polyester is there. So cotton, I will say 70% of cotton, so I will say 0.70. Now did you see, these both values are of string data type. This is right now float data type. Okay, then I will say polyester, and I will say 0.30. That is the remaining part of it. Then, and remember comma everywhere. Then finally I am saying price of this shirt, and I say 1500. Now if you have seen here, it clearly mentions that 2 values are of string data type, 2 values are of float data type, and the last value is of integer data type. No matter what your values were of what data type, your keys will always remain like a string. Okay, it will represent a string. So when I want to see this particular shirt, let's say I'll give this name as shirt. I can give any name to my identifier, and it should reflect what I am trying to say. So I am giving this as shirt. Now if I want to say shirt, how much cotton is there in that shirt, I can always say shirt, and I can open a square bracket, and I can say cotton. It will show me. Similarly, if I say shirt and I say price, it will show me the price, and so on. Right? This is just an introduction and it accesses the value very fast. If it was tuple or if it was list, then the access would have been sequential, one after the other. First one, second one, third one, fourth one. And just imagine if you're having 100 values in your list, then to reach the 100th position, it goes by index one by one and then reaches the 100th one. Here it's going to access it very fast using the key values. I told you about the dictionary in the last class. This is the same thing what I am explaining here. In your dictionary, you just pick up whatever letter it started, the word starts with, and then accordingly you proceed searching for it. So it uses this kind of a technique, dictionary. Same dictionary. Okay? So having said that, now let's go to the next topic, and which is nothing but your operators. Operators in Python. Operators in Python I've already categorized. You are having arithmetic operators, you are having assignment operators, you are having logical and relational operators. We are taking up the very first, we are taking up arithmetic operators. Now you would be saying, oh, how easy. But there is a big change in your mathematics, arithmetics and your computer arithmetics when you are using a computational expression. Now what happens here when you are doing, can you say x equals to, if you are saying x plus 5, this is a valid expression or an invalid expression? It is a valid expression. In your regular mathematics, what you do, you are saying x is x minus x equals to 5 or 0 equals to 5, which is invalid actually. You're getting that? This is not a typical expression at all. Now what we are doing, in your computers, what you do is when you are writing this expression, it is actually saying there is one identifier called x which is having some value. Okay. Now you are saying in the same identifier, in the same position, what I want to do, this value of x should be added with 5 and rewritten here. So it says 7 plus 5, which is 12, and it overwrites on this, the same place. So the identifier hasn't changed and your value changes to whatever was given in your x. With the new value, it has added and has kept it back in the same identifier or the memory address. So this is your first difference which I am telling you. Don't get confused that ma'am, how can we write? ये ऐसा कैसे लिख सकते हैं हम? X minus x हो जाएगा, उस तरफ जाएगा x तो. So don't get confused with that. This is how computations work. Okay. Now I'll quickly glance you through the different operators. You have plus operator, you all know what is plus. Minus operator, you know minus. Instead of x, I am going to make it as an asterisk. This is going to be your multiplication. And instead of this divide symbol, I am going to have a slash. Forward slash. Then it is a divide. Then I also have a double slash. Double forward slash, which stands for okay, we'll come to that later. Then we have a percentage symbol and we also have double asterisk symbol. Double asterisk. So plus stands for addition. So if at all I say x equals to 10, y equals to 15, and now I write an expression x equals to x plus y. Guess the answer, please. Pause your videos and guess the answer. Okay, so if I say print x, x is going to show me 25. Did you all get the same answer? Why? Because x right now value when it approached till here is 10. This 10 plus this 15 is added up, it comes to 25. it has been put back in x. So when I print x, it is not going to print me 10, rather it is going to show me whatever it has concluded till now. अभी तक में उसकी लास्ट वैल्यू जो रही है वही प्रिंट होगी. So this becomes 25. Clear? Similarly your minus. Let's suppose I change this to minus now. Now what happens? I am saying x equals to x minus y. So I am saying 10 minus 15. It returns back me minus 5. Now when I am saying minus 5, it will say print minus 5. This is your subtraction. Okay. Next, coming to multiplication. In order to do multiplying, we are doing asterisk symbol. Now what is your answer? 10 into 15, which comes to 150. Okay. So you are going to print 150 here. Coming to your division, I put a forward slash here. 10 divided by 15. So when you are dividing 10 by 15, what is happening? You are putting a point, taking a 0, 15, 6 are 90, 10. So it recurs, right? So it is going to give you x will become equal to 0.6666, etc. Fine. So it is going to print that. Now what happens if I say double slash y? Now it omits the decimal part of it and it will give you only the whole part of it. Fractional part will be removed or the decimal part will be removed and only the whole number part will be given. So your answer comes out to be a 0. Next, coming to the percentage symbol. This was this one. If you wish to, I can take another example also. Let's say I will make this as 27. Okay. When I am saying 27 divided by double slash, 27 double slash 15, it divides but it gives only the whole number part. So 15, 1 times 15. After that, whatever is remaining, it is not bothered about what is going to be further. Because it needs a point, something is there already. So your answer will be returning as 1. The value will be 1, which will be stored in x. Fine? Clear? Try it out yourself. When you practice, you get to know more. Try doing many questions with that. You will be understanding how it works. Now coming to the next one, percentage symbol. Your percentage symbol stands for finding the remainder. The same thing I am taking, but I am going to find the remainder this time. So I am saying 27. It's divided by 15. 15, 1 times 15. How much is left? Correct? 1 second. 7, sorry. 15. Okay. 2. 12. So 12 is the remainder, right? Got confused. So 12 is the remainder. So when you are saying 12, 12 cannot be divided anymore. And we are not bothered about the division part now. We have seen that it cannot be divided anymore and the remainder is 12. We are talking about the remainder when we are talking about percentage. Okay. So it gives you, your print x will give you 12. Clear? The last one is double asterisk. Now what happens? Now this I will take up a smaller example because I will not be able to evaluate it, and I'll tell you the reason. You will get to know the reason why. Suppose I say 2 and I say 5. I'm taking this as an example for this operator. This is your exponential operator. That means to say, I'm actually saying 2 to the power of 5. And how do I write that? It's going to be 2 to the power of 5 exponents. Fine? But here I am not making it as a hard coding. I am giving the variable names or the identifiers. I am giving x, double asterisk, and y. That means 2 to the power of 5 will be 32. So it says print 32. Fine. Now let's quickly revise. Plus is addition, minus is subtraction, asterisk is your multiplication, forward slash is your division, double forward slash is your division with the integer part only. The quotient will be shown with only integer part. Percentage stands for your remainder, how much remains, and double asterisk stands for the exponential part. Right? This concludes with your arithmetic operators. I would want you to try as many questions as you can on your command line. If you are having PyDrive, you can assume that IDE itself as a command line, and you can just write one expression and run it. Okay, those of you who have that confusion that only programs can be written, not necessarily. You can write it on your single line also as is, and then execute it. It will take it as a command line. Fine. So can we stop at this now? In your next class, I am going to take you forward with assignment operator and relational operators. Right? Thank you everyone. Jai Hind.